Stronger Together. Remember that one? Well, on today's show, we're going to flash back to an interview that took place last year at Rebels HQ, featuring GM Nick Stiles and CEO Baden Stevenson. Bang bang, Rebel Gang. Let's ride. We the PAC, this out POD.
Let's all go global after this. Name drops him, right?
All the time, I do hope for the weekend.
Sometimes it's like, hey, Laurent.
Definitely not mine.
Good afternoon, morning, ladies and turnies. You're listening to the PAC podcast powered by the Pig Athletic Club. My name is Sione, and if this is your first time joining us, we are a touring rugby club and reformed meme media platform for the players. We're simply here to make rugby great again, one meme at a time. Please welcome my co-hosts, everyone's favourite Fia Polly Palangi, Mr. Lione Fellini.
Free the gang, homies. I know I look like I'm in the jail cell, but look, it's Wednesday. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, we're back. You're back.
Baby.
You're back. I was here last week on my lonesome, and we did have a question, and I'll swing it up here. We'll replace our icebreaker with this question. Where were you, mate? You left Sione all alone.
I digress. What happened to you last week, mate? I was listening going, this guy's having a fucking moment. Oh, mate, I was like nearly about to turn it off. Lucky you switched over to the boys because, tell you what, I digress. It was horrible. He was rambling like an idiot.
Well, where were you, mate?
Well, Ben, thanks for asking, mate. On Valentine's Day, our beautiful Gigi was born. And that's what I was doing, mate.
PAC Pathways, PAC Women's team.
Baby. Yeah, she's staying well away from it, mate.
And the name, where did it come from? I was expecting Tony with a one.
Oh, her middle name's Tony.
Yeah. We're going with Tony.
It is.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Anyways.
I was lost, mate, trying to think of a Palangi name, but it's I don't know. We couldn't decide on a name for ages, and then just come home from the hairdresser's one time and said she heard this nickname Gigi that she liked. I was like, oh, that's fucking pretty cute.
Gang.
Like, what's the name for it? And then she's like, oh, Gianna. I was like, fuck, that's it. That's the name.
Gianna Tony.
So Gianna Tony Freni.
Nice. And this week we have Rebels GM Nick Stiles and also former CEO Baden. This was recorded last year. We're going to chuck it in this week's pod because we want to show what the Rebels have been building the last few
Burn
years.
City, baby.
For Rebels fans, get out and support them this week against the Brumbies. But this is, I thought we should show the interview. We were going to release it, but then I held back when all the off-field things were happening. But we're going to chuck it on this week's pod, so tune in for that and just show what they're actually been working for and what I think they're going to get this year reward on the field. Hopefully they won't be there last season. So thank you, Tony, of the week. Is this going to be Gigi? Is she going to be a thank you, Tony?
Yeah, well, thank you, Tony, to my beautiful fiance for just being such a good sport. You know, it's been a tough week for her. That is number one. Thank you, Tony. I've got three. My second thank you, Tony, goes to Survivor for finally kicking out Kelly. She's fucking mad as cut snake, old Kelly. She reckons she's a psychologist, but I tell you what, I reckon she'll put someone in there. Fucking
Survivor, is that the TV show?
Yeah, mate.
I haven't been watching.
Yeah. Oh, mate, Kelly's a piece of work. She just does not shut up. Anyway, she got finally voted out last night and then made some scenario up like she sacrificed herself because she's so compassionate and blah, blah. No, it's because you're fucking annoying.
It's good that you can get it off your heart because I can tell it's fit.
Mate, what a fucking weapon. She is a weapon. And then my third thank you, Tony, is Super Rugby is back this week. And I'm just going to throw it out there, one to watch for this year. Once again, in Fijian draw, is Armstrong Ravula, number 10, replacing Teddy Teller. He played for the 20s.
Yeah. He's
gone, bruh.
Armstrong. All right.
Yep. Oh, that's not his actual first name. Let me find out what his actual first name is.
Armstrong.
It only gave me Armstrong Ravula. That's why. Number 10. Anyways, number 10.
Yeah.
And the fucking draw, mate, they just keep evolving, Like, they've lost some names, but then they've got these dudes that are probably equally as fast and equally as good.
Yeah.
But Armstrong and Buller, number 10. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony. I want to start off my thank you, Tony, with thank you, Tony. Johnny said I have to be nicer to everybody in PAC. So I'm going to start with you, mate. Firstly, I wrote down motherhood. Motherhood looks good on you, mate. So congratulations on baby Gigi, and welcome back, mate. My mother, thank you, Tony, is PAC Pathways. We're actually expanding out of Australia. We're staying in Australia, but we've got a little team that's going to be looking after our MLR content this year, and then also got a little team looking after, including myself, Super Rugby Old Picky. So keep an eye out for some of the new little.
Shakara, you're looking after that one. You're a fucking creep, mate.
Well, I don't know what you mean, mate. I'm respectful. What's guy? Anyways, I'll cut that out. But it brings us to the scrams of the week. I'll let you go first before I bring the negativity up to another level.
First, my screams goes to you. You are pretending you're speaking French and lip syncing it on the video again, mate. I know you're trying to say, "Oh, it's AI, mate. I'm doing it on AI," but no, I know your tricks, mate. You're saying it, but you're trying to say it as if you were saying it, but you're not, mate. I'm just telling you now. I'm just telling the world. You're the biggest screams I've ever met, mate. We're not at the fucking G20 summit, mate. You know, go fucking earpiece in, pretending you fucking speaking French.
I'm trying to connect to a new audience. We had a French guest on, so I thought I'd do the first part in French, but my French isn't that good, so I used the AI generator to translate my English and use my voice.
And you're trying to pretend you're saying it yourself, mate.
Mate, we're trying to connect in the future.
We're all over you. Yeah.
That was my response to you getting up me. After I responded, "It's fucking AI, mate. Do you even know how it works?" And then I'm like, okay, I need to calm down.
And I'm just laughing, guys. It is so easy to get in his head. He'd be sweating in the garage. You even know what I mean?
I'm fucking quit again. You don't appreciate me.
All right, sorry, I got another one. So whilst our baby Gigi was in hospital, we were in there all week, mate. We just had to monitor the blood pressure, nothing crazy. But, mate, my missus was like, "Oh, why don't you just order the family thing?" So, obviously, her food was free because it was in public. We went full gator mode. And anyway, and like, "Oh, you can have a partner meal." I'm like, "Yeah, sweet as, just order me a burger." Anyway, fucking 10 years later, I had to fucking walk downstairs to pay for it, bring up a slip, hand it into the front fucking desk on the level 8 or wherever she was. Then they had to call through and write on some notes saying it's a partner meal that it's been paid. Just fucking have my $15. I'll fucking go to the shops, mate. Like, whoever thought of that that system, the food system for the partners there in the hospital, needs a fucking good hard look at themselves.
Sounds like it was Christine Fabulous that fucking set that up.
No, Christine Fabulous department was 100% scrams and fucking in charge of that, for sure.
Speaking of scrams unit, can I have a dig back at our former Supreme Leader? Johnny is my scrams of the last few weeks. He's been fucking carrying on, that scrams bastard. Sorry for my language. But Johnny's meant to be our touring manager. Hong Kong 10's coming up, and he's been radio silent for since the last social tour. And now we're going PAC Barbars. Johnny wants to go Bird Box. And he's been trying to take some of our PAC Barbar sponsors over to his little social tour that he's doing just because he can't make it to Hong Kong. So, Johnny is my scrams of the week, stealing sponsors, also trying to intercept our PAC Barbars player recruitment drive. We had a few boys in KL and in Asia that, we had down for Hong Kong, and Johnny's gone and told him, nah, you go play for another team. And I've gone to hit them up, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, Johnny said that you guys aren't going anymore," which in his defense, it didn't look like we were going because he wasn't doing his job. And so, Johnny, mate, I might have added a bit of Hollywood sprinkles here, but you're our scrams of the last few weeks, mate.
Mate, you're a real fucking sex tourist, Johnny. Why don't you just go to Hong Kong? You know what I mean? You don't have to go to Pattaya your whole life.
Yeah, mate.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sick.
And I got one more scrams. It's one of Johnny's other friends in PAC. You know him very well. His name is Ryan Freeney. He's our scrams PAC GM, that PAC Barbars GM that has got the sack. We've been undefeated in Asia with JB as our GM before COVID, and then COVID happened. We entered the Aussie touring scene with Farini as our PAC Barbars GM, and 0-4 record at Aqua Rugby and also at Bris Vegas. Farinni's had to do a Melbourne Rebels and retire as CEO of the PAC Barbars, and now Tino's taking over.
To be fair, okay, to my defense, can I have a rebuttal here?
Yeah.
So when we did the sevens at the last Bris Vegas we played in, I really just wanted to have people on the team that would end people. And did we get that?
Yeah, we did.
Yes. Tick.
But did we get it on camera? No, because I was watching going, wow, that was cool. I should have my camera up.
But that was my main purpose, to fucking smoke dudes. I just wanted dudes that was put shots on. And did that happen? Yes. Tick. Okay. What tournament have I lost before that? Maybe Cobra? But no one gives a fuck about that. That's serious.
Aqua.
You know what I mean? Aqua. Okay, and to my defense, I knew it was my last hurrah, right? So I've gone down to Aqua.
Yeah.
And we've said we have to lose. We have to lose every game because we don't need to play any more rugby than we need to.
Yeah.
And to my defense, did I put the biggest shot on of the day?
Yes. You actually got MVP for our team.
Tick. Did I get the drunkest out of anyone?
Yes.
Tick. Fuck, where do I start?
Did you ruin the Christmas tree in Manly? Tick.
Did we get kicked out of the backpackers in the first night? Tick. Mate, what? In my eyes, like, correct me if I'm wrong here, it was a complete success.
That's true. Okay, we'll keep on this positive vibe that you're kind of grooving on at the moment, mate. Who was the best at being making us lose at Aqua out of the selections that you selected?
We were there for one reason,
yeah,
to just chop piss and have fun and drink strawberry daiquiris and really regret our bank balance on the fucking Monday after, right?
Yeah.
Did we go down and do that? Yes,
we did. Yeah,
Were
but
we
I want to be
People's
toxic,
Champions?
mate. Name a name. Who was the worst player?
I don't really want to name names or really single anyone out, but David Henway.
David Wells. When the ball was in his hands, like, what? Does he even know how to play rugby?
What is he doing? What is he doing? Pass it to James Trethewey because he's better than fucking old David here.
True. We'll get some footies and chuck it up online. That's what I wanted to do.
Anyway, I tell you what, I'm glad that was the last hurrah because that weekend, since that weekend, I was like, you know what? I'm hanging up the fucking stubby cooler. I'm done.
Do you have any advice to Tino who's taken over from your position? What not to do?
Well, I would say he's got big shoes to fill, but fucking try and be his shoe, mate. If you want to be, and I've said it once before, if you want to be a shoe rep, give a pair of shoes to Tino, and if they stand the test of time with his feet, then you fucking, you've got yourself a durable pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Whoever made those pair of PAC pants, by the way, many years ago,
that he's been wearing.
That he's worn I don't think he's got another pair of pants. He's worn those shorts since the inception.
Yeah.
And so whoever made those pants and whoever made the crotch of those pants where his thighs rubbed together needs some sort of Nobel Peace Prize if you're asking me, mate. Because I tell you what, he's got a bit going on down there. And I do too.
Yeah.
I want to know who it is. I want to get all my pants made there. Because I tell you what, they're fucking invincible.
Just like
imagine wearing that. Imagine wearing a bodysuit. Imagine wearing a bodysuit of that in war. You get shot with a bullet and it bounce right off.
Fuck. Yeah. So congratulations, Tino, and we look forward to a successful Samoan Prime Minister taking over.
I actually didn't answer the question whatsoever, did I?
I forget what the question was.
What's he going to do? Just don't slap anyone. I'll tell you what, if you caught one of those size 16 hands around the chops, you'll fucking feel it.
Yeah. So for the listeners, we're going to Hong Kong Tens. We'll be announcing the squad in probably 2 weeks. We'll be announcing the squad, so keep an eye out for that. Doing a little bit of
Who is the squad, mate?
Draft.
You tell me.
Yeah, shout out there. Trying to make us
Who is it, mate?
show how scrams we are, mate.
Oh, you know what? We're going to reveal them one by one. It'll lead up.
Hold a show on turf
from the Hong Kong Tens. Oh, because we are getting them one by one.
Literally. And if anyone wants to play, let us know.
I'm sorry.
We're back. We're back to continue our unbeaten run in Asia.
Hope you buy some PPE for the tour as well, because you can put up with chainsaw for a couple of days. But I tell you what, a week's a long time. So just maybe get some compulsory earbuds for the boys. What, mate? I changed my scrams. Whoever the fucking Rebels accountant was, who was that? Hang him out to dry, mate.
I'm saying it's the same as ours.
How are the accounts looking? What the fuck?
But first question is our Union State of Origin. It's not as big as the League one, but with first round we've got at Suncorp, the Reds up against the Tars. The Reds dusted them in the trial 2 weeks ago. How do you see? Someone wants to know, how do you see this one going?
I was giving the teams before, and as they say on Love Island, on paper, Waratahs look red hot. But I'm telling you what, the boys are fucking going to get their Les kiss on, and they're fucking going to absolutely tear these boys apart.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
I actually think the Waratahs will get up on this one. I just got a vibe, mate. I got a vibe.
They've got a good team.
Who, Queensland?
No, Waratahs.
Yeah. And
the Queensland team, I reckon they're good, man. I was surprised. I'm a big fan of Harry McLaughlin-Phillips. I would have started him secretly.
I haven't even seen the Queensland team. Who's the starting 10?
Liner.
Oh. He hasn't even been playing. He's good. He just hasn't been playing.
Yeah, and but I really like Harry McLaughlin-Phillips. I reckon he's the answer with Carter Gordon.
Yeah.
They're the future.
Yeah, 100%.
And I reckon Tars have got a really good side on paper, starting 15.
But myself and Einstein will go into it a little bit in depth after this. But who do you think is going to be finishing this season as MVP of Super Rugby?
Armstrong Ravula.
Oh, you actually think he's going to be the best player, or he's just going to be...
He's going to be breakthrough, baby.
Okay. Hunter
Paisami's got a point to prove. I hope he plays with a bit of a chip on his shoulder, because fucking hell, I love watching that bloke play. He's unreal. I love how he just steamrolled. Who was that dude? Last week?
I don't want to say his name, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Oh, you got fucked up. But Hunter Paisami, mate, he's been one of my favourites for fucking a long time now. I reckon he's going to do a job. I reckon a big year, a big Sully. I would love to see him hit his straps. Yeah. We can see he does it. He can do it. He just hopefully this coach brings the best out of him. I'd fucking love to see it.
Yeah, looking forward to the Reds doing well again. Well, they haven't been shit, but kicking on with the talent that we have.
One thing I was surprised is Jock Campbell not starting at 15.
Who's starting 15?
Tyre.
Oh, who's 13?
Fluke.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Fuck. Nah, that's actually a gun team. That was the only rugby questions. We only got one left, but I don't know if we want to do this one. Since Freeney's the expert at love, and Shauna somehow hasn't had any love ever, Freeney, can you give Shauna some tips? And Shauna, can you show us what kind of chat you'd give to girls?
I've got a really good, and I've said it a few times now, but I've got a really good thing for you, man. And I think, everyone's been missing it. But I think I'll put my finger on the real reason you haven't found love. And after some recent videos I've sent you on TikTok, I honestly think you should enter dating on the spectrum.
Oh, so I did say it the other day because, yeah.
Yeah. I reckon you'll be great.
I'll do some damage on that show.
I can't do some damage. You get that real
just singing bulk songs. Oh, what are you talking about, brother? I like sing-alongs. That's what I mean, mate. And you guys don't want to hear what
seriously, you'll
my
find
chat's
another
like.
bird that sits in a garage all day. And you'd be flying.
Perfect. Or just leave me the fuck alone. Oh, well, that was a little bit heated. And guys, I've actually got a love interest. So get off my back, mate. I've courted someone. Anyways, we'll cross over to Ironside and myself. Welcome, Ironside. How you been, mate?
How are you? Yeah, good. Can't complain.
Super Rugby starting up this week, so let's dive right on in. We're going to take, we've got 6 teams each. We're going to preview each team. We've got 6 each. You want to go on and then I'll go on?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. You can take it away.
I'm going to start with our bestest of friends, our new bestest friends, the Waratahs. My team for this year, as always, as a New South Welshman.
Yep.
We've had let's not hide from the fact they've had a pretty rubbish pre-season. They've got beaten in most games, but I think that you can't read too much into that. I mean, it's classic on paper, they look good, but I think they've got a pretty big mobile forward pack.
Yeah.
And I feel like the key this year, which sounds funny to say it for an Australian team, but I think Bell and Harry Johnson-Holmes, that front row pairing can really dominate a scrum with Parecki or Mahe, and depending who, I think that's a good solid foundation. And on that, my 2 players to watch for them, I think this year will be Miles Amatissimo, who's come back from a trip in France, left the country when he was 18, came back. We saw him in person. He's a big boy. He looks pretty mobile, so I'm pretty excited to see him play. And he gets it mentioned every year, but he got injured, and I think that this might be a real big step up for him is Langy Gleeson. I feel like everyone's been pretty quiet on him because he was kind of didn't feature in the World Cup and all that, but I think he's in for a big year, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play, probably the most out of all.
Yeah, they were my former team. I was on their bandwagon last year. I'm back on Burn City this year. But I'll kickstart with this beer. Thanks to our mates at Black Ops. I digress. All right. I'll kickstart with Moana Pacifica. The preseason form, they might not have got the wins on the board, but they're looking fit. They're looking ready to bang. Julian the Bus Surveyor at 12 looks like a school bus with faulty brakes. It's giving the movie Speed. It's giving, I'm too scared to tackle the bus, Mr. Coach. I think these guys are going to go one better and finish second last, which is still a win. Still a win in their eyes. Player to watch is the young Kyron. He's young. He made his debut for Tonga in the World Cup last year. Young outside back, Kyron Domo-Falau. I think he came through he's New Zealand born, New Zealand raised, but he was quick to go for Tonga in the 7s and in the 15s as well. So look out for Kyron Domo-Falau.
I'm going to move across the Dutch, as we would say, to the Hurricanes. They had a good last game against Moana, but they had a big loss to the Highlanders in the preseason. Their team list came out today and they had Cam Rogard on the, I can't ever say his name, Rogard on the bench. No Sevilla this year. I feel like they're going to have to lean on Geordie Barrett big time. I think he's going to have to really step up.
Yeah, I
think they're in a bit of a transition. I think they'll be pretty up and down. Like having Rogard on the bench and Lomax this week as well. You can never count a Kiwi side out. So I think they'll still be pretty strong. But I don't think they're going to feature in the finals.
Big call. All right, I'll go to one of my other former bandwagon teams, the Queensland Reds. Shaky start to the preseason against the Force, but finished off with a bang against the Tars. HP like the sauce. Hunter Pausami is a man on a mission during preseason, so look for him to be the leader. Not so much with his voice because he's very quiet, but with his actions this season. Player to watch is Harry McLaughlin Phillips. He's a young 10-12, played under 20s last year, and I think is a future Wallaby in the making. So watch out for Harry McLaughlin Phillips.
Let's keep it with Australian teams then. I'm going to go to the Western Force. Been a lot of chat about them in the preseason. They did have a narrow loss to the Brumbies, beat the Reds, but having Simon Cron there signed for another year, who hopefully we should have on in a couple of weeks. So I've hit him up. He's keen to come on. He's plays a pretty free-flowing style of footy with a lot of pretty structured, but let's play what's in front of us style. And I think that's really going to suit. I think a big connection this year will be between the 10 and 15. With Bury being a previous played 10 there and a 15. I think that they'll connect. I think they'll be able to attack both sides of the field pretty early. I think they're building the Force, and I think that they could make. I think they're going to sneak some wins against some, better sides, and I think they can easily be one of the best teams in Australia.
Yeah,
they're not my top pick for Australia, but I'll leave that to one of my other picks coming later.
Yeah, I think he is building actually North's 2.0 with Bury moved to fullback, and it's pretty much Donaldson is just pretty much Harry Bury at 10. All right. My next one is the Highlanders, aka world champs of preseason. And they're going on one. Maybe not to the top of the table, but they're going on one to mid. New recruit Jacob Ratu Matavuki Neepkins, went on one last year in the NPC competition, and I think and he did actually help Taranaki win the league. So look for him to kickstart their comeback season this year. Player to watch is Jonah Lowe. He's been around the traps. I believe he was with the Chiefs, but he's a proven baller. So keep an eye out for Jonah Lowe.
I always like on that just quickly. I love seeing the Highlanders do well. They always got big crowds, and they were pretty rubbish last year. So they just attack preseason and put their best sides out all the time. Fuck it, wins are wins.
This is big country boys just coming through.
Yeah, I'll go back over the Dutch to probably their local their rival. I'm gonna go the Crusaders. Last year's champs, big changes in the team, new coach. Will oversee for most of the preseason. Probably not putting out their kind of A team. No Will Jordan this year will be a massive loss for them. He's probably the best outside back, I think, in world rugby. Big call out, I know, but could be a tough year, but you never count out the Crusaders if they've learnt anything over Super Rugby. You never count them out. They've got a pretty new kind of starting 15, but they've got Crotty, Franks and Moody on the bench coming on. So interested to see how that plays out this year. I'm going to go player to watch is Levi. I fucking was trying to pronounce this before I did it. Levi Amua.
Yeah.
So
I forgot he was there.
Like he's got a good chance this year with no Jordan there. There's always plenty of tries to be scored. So I'm looking forward to see. Yeah, I think he's going to have a really good year. And I think the Crusaders you can't count them out. You can say they got different players. I still think they're going to be featuring very late in the season.
Yeah. It'll be good to see, what's his name, the former Waratahs coach, Penny, to finally get a dot on the board after going 0 for that one season, at least last season at the Tars. All right, next on my list was the Fijian and Drua. Steady preseason form, but these guys, they're always tough. They might have a poor preseason the other year, and then they just came out of the blocks firing. But they got a tough task round one against the Blues. But I think the key player for them this year is Frank Lamani. He's proven to be world class throughout the World Cup, and once again, he's going to be the key to their success. Freeney was raving on about some kid that he had no idea what his first name was. Armstrong, he's half caste, pretty much. He thinks it's his kid. It's half caste Fijian. He's the new number 10. But I'm going to give my player to watch to their number 12, Apisa Lomevota. He's giving Samu Karevi 2.0. They pretty much run the ball similarly, and his combination with Masi in the middle of the park, I think, is going to be deadly this season.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to my pick for the best Australian team, and they've been under the wraps the whole of pre-season. And to be fair, I've probably ignored them as well. And I just went through and had a quick look at their team. Is the Brumbies.
Yeah.
They're pretty lucky, I guess, because such a small kind of area they're from, but they've got such big support. But yeah, I haven't heard much talk about them. They've had some decent wins in pre-season. I think they've easily got the forward pack in Australian rugby at the moment. Hooper, Valentini, Slipper, some big names there. I think they're going to look. I think they look really good. My player to watch for them, Noah. I think Noah's going to be real key in that. He didn't get a start. No one talked about him. He's not been given much opportunity. I think it's a good time post World Cup. I think he's a fucking red hot 10. I think he's going to give it a red hot go.
Yeah.
And then just that we talked about their forward pack, but even their back line, like Ikitau back, and then their back the back three of White Dynamite, Muirhead, Toole and Wright. I feel like no one's talked about them, and to be fair, until I did some little bit of my research, I'd watched some play, until I did some research about what their final team would be. I think they're probably the best team in Australia at the moment.
Yeah, fuck. You just name those names, and I'm like, fuck. I didn't even look into it, and I didn't back them this week for round one. Oh shit. Oh well. That's good chat. That's why we're here, to remind everyone.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. We're previewing our own season. What games are going to choose to watch the highlight for, and what games are going to choose to watch the game.
Okay. My next team is across the Dutch, the Chiefs. Just after falling short last season, I feel like the Chiefs have come with a school shooter chip on their shoulder, like they're going to fuck everyone this year. Like everyone, especially the Crusaders. Few names. Actually, I looked at their starting lineup for this week, and the back row and the second row, Arcoy, Tupou Va'ai, Sami Benny Finau, Boshier and Luke Jacobson at number 8. Mate, somebody's going to get jacked this round one. So, mate, the Chiefs are on one. I don't think they're gonna get there, but I think they're just gonna bash some carrots this season. So, watch your backs, because they're out for blood.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see Chiefs. That's a fucking killer.
Yeah.
Your 2024 champions in the making, the Blues. I feel like this has got to be the Blues year. On a completely, I think I've said a few times, on a complete side note, their little white jersey retro number, if that doesn't get them over the line, nothing will. They had a pretty dominant preseason. They flogged everyone in Japan, then came back and got a win as well. I feel like they've got the best backline in the comp, like with Talia, Clark, Ione, like, fuck. That's like, you got 3 John Olomu-sized blocks that can fucking towel up. I think they're going to cause some absolute chaos in the back line. And I think that in saying that, I still think their player to watch is a pretty easy one, Papali'i.
Yeah.
Big captain there. I feel like he's going to be in for a big year. He's really matured over the last kind of like 2 years, I guess. He had a pretty good World Cup campaign. Yeah, I think it's hard to look past the Blues this season. I think they're going all the way.
I'll leave my predictions for our top 4 team finishes, but I'll finish off with my Burn City Rebels. Their preseason form has just given me more reason to back them this year. Their bank accounts might not be balancing, but best believe the Rebels will be out to level the doubters this season, even if it is their final season. Player to watch is everyone. Everyone in a Rebels jersey is out to fight for survival. So, mate, Melbourne Rebels, mate, just hot tip, they're going to be number 1 in my top 4.
We probably should have done our top 4 first, because we can't help ourselves.
Yeah, the way I'll edit it and chop it up different, it'll be sweet. All right, let's get to our top 4 finishes for Super Rugby 2024.
These are my top 4 teams, starting at 4. I think this is going to be a shock. The Crusaders at 4.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go at 3, the Brumbies at 3. I'm going to double down on what I've said about Brumbies. I think they're going to have a good year.
Yeah.
2, the Chiefs. And number 1, the Auckland Blues. Hard to go past them. I think it'll be I'd love it to be like a Brumbies Chiefs final, Brumbies Blues final, but I think it's going to be a Blues Chiefs final. I think you can't look past that.
That'll still be a good game. Too bad that's not going to be the game. Blues will be there, but that won't be the game. This Super Rugby season, top 4 will be Hurricanes. Will slide into the top 4. These guys have, I think they've got on par. If you look at their squad, some of the best individual talent in the league, which is why I don't think they're meshing yet to be number 1. But they've got guys like Duplessis Karifi, who he's jacked. He's ready to go. He doesn't have Savea there as top dog, and he's taken that top dog tag this season in the forward pack. So Duplessis Karifi, Jordan Barrett, Kini Naholo also coming through, and Ray Arcee. I think they'll slide through at number 4. At number 3, I've gone with the Chiefs. Like I said before, this team actually scares me. Chiefs Mana, I think they'll be out, but I think they'll run out of gas towards the end of the season. So Chiefs at number 3. At number 2, we have the Blues. I think Petafeta's going to have a big season, and he will push his way back into All Blacks camp, along with Hoskins Satutu. But I think the depth in their back row, I think, is going to get them far in this season, because we already know what their backs can do. And at number 1, put your hands together for the world champs, bringing Rugby Australia back to the top of Super Rugby, the Melbourne Rebels. Carter Gordon leading the ship, the forward pack. I think Rebels have the best depth in Super Rugby in the forward pack. I have to think about that because the Kiwis got some ballers. But Nella, Lucan, Pone, Pati, mate, they're going to take us to the promised land. So put all your monies on Burn City for championship. Thank you, Tony.
I think that might be a nice donation to one of the nice sports betting companies that should sponsor us. But
yeah. Oh, speaking of donation, if you want to help the Rebels, I think we should get a GoFundMe going to keep the Rebels in the competition.
I think just because we've done our top 4, I just think that just looking around the league and some of the teams and post World Cup year, I think it's going to be. And fingers crossed, I think it's going to be a pretty competitive year. I think there's some good games. I think the gap's probably less to the Kiwis than it usually is because they've lost some of their big names post-World Cup. But look, I think it's going to be a good year. We need more than anyone, and so does New Zealand, for it to super every season.
Yeah.
Because those blokes that count to 6 and kick it to the corner for and play the ball between their legs is taking over too much.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Top 3 players. Who's going to finish MVP of Super Rugby 2024? You want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. I've done a Ryan Friend and done a top 4 because I couldn't pick a top 3. I'm going 4. We talked about him earlier, Langy Gleeson. I just feel like he's just got such a good opportunity this year to have a real red hot crack if he can stay healthy. They've got the kind of right back line for him to do it, to dominant runs and dominant defence. 3, he was the best Wallaby at the World Cup in my eyes, Rob Valentini. I think he's in for another big year. As we talked about before, Brumbies have just kind of been probably on the back foot in terms of no one talking about him. So, he's one to watch. And at 2, Papali'i from the Blues. I think, as I spoke about earlier, mate, he's such a dominant ball carrier, such a dominant tackler. He's not the biggest bloke on the field, but he's just a psychopath. I'd love to play. You'd love to have him on your team. You'd hate to play against him.
Yeah, he's fucking sexy as well. Mrs. Thomas.
And I guess he's a good looking bloke. You're right. And then number 1, I'm going Mark Talia. I just think
I keep forgetting about
I just think that 27 now, just had a decent World Cup. He's probably about to start hitting he's already outstanding. I think that this is going to be a peak year for him to really just, cement himself as one of the best wingers that the All Blacks has had, because I feel like he has that caliber.
Yeah.
And the Blues are if the Blues are doing well, usually New Zealand Rugby's doing well, and I just can see him skyrocketing them to the top.
Yeah. I'll go top 4 as well. Mark Talia. I missed him. I keep forgetting Mark Talia. He's that slippery. I keep forgetting about him. I'll get him at number 4. But at number 3, I've gone his opposite winger, Caleb Clark. He's lost a heap of weight and is looking in great nick. With opposing teams probably doubling up on Mark Talia this season, I think Caleb Clark's going to have a lot of mismatches this season. So he's going to get over the trial line and probably just get that one over his opposite winger this season. At number 2, the only Aussie in the list, Hunter Paisambi. Whispers are that NRL clubs are keen to get him over to the dark side, but I think HB is going to prove that he's worth every cent to keep him here. And if his preseason form is anything to go by, Reds might do a 2011 and win the whole thing just off his back. They won't, but yeah, it's pretty cool to say. And MVP for season 2024 is Damien McKenzie. I think he's going to be the greatest All Blacks 10 ever. He's finally getting the opportunity now. I know they've got Baden Barrett coming back, but I think his form this year is just going to prove that, respectfully, you're not needed, bruv. You've had your time. This is the Damien McKenzie empire. He's going to be the best. Richie's my GOAT at the moment for All Blacks 10s, but I think Damien McKenzie is going to just take it to another level. So, congratulations, Damien McKenzie. Thank you, Tony.
Richie's the greatest 10.
Yeah.
You mean Carter?
No. He's good. Carter's good, but nah.
I want Damien. The smiling at the goalpost is such a. Yeah. I know I'm a piece of shit for saying this. I really want to like him, but I don't know if the smiling just doesn't put me over the edge. And that's he's also a fucking good player, and he's always good against the Wallabies. That pisses me off as well.
All right. Before we swing over to our Rebels CEO or former CEO and current GM, let's get our round 1 picks or tips. So I'm going to go against you. We're going to put this up, our tips, and I'll put mine in a multi as well. But we'll chuck it up and at the end of the season. So listeners, let us know. What do you think the penalty should be for whoever loses this tipping comp between myself and Ironside? All right.
I'm not cutting my mullet again. That's
surely it's got to be something worse than that.
Oh, mate, anything to do with anything but my appearance, I'll do, because I really felt like a private school boy again. I didn't like.
Yeah, you look real good with the mullet gone too. So save some from us, bruv. So okay, round 1. We'll start off with the Chiefs and Crusaders. Who's your pick?
I think we're both going to go this, but the Chiefs.
Chiefs, yep. Lock in the Chiefs for myself as well. Rebels versus Brumbies.
ACT Brumbies.
Yeah, this is where we differ. I'm going Melbourne Rebels. My heart might get me in trouble here, but lock in the Rebels. And if you're in Melbourne, make sure you get out to Amy Park and save the Rebels. Save the Rebels. Okay, game number 3, Western Force in Perth against the Canes.
I'm going to go with my heart here and say the Western Force.
Yep. I just think the Force at home, they're always dangerous, and Canes have proved not to be so dangerous on the road, especially out in Perth. So I'm going to lock in Force as well. And Blues versus Drua. And Drua. Blues, yeah. I think we're both back in the Blues in this one. Highlanders versus Moana Pacifica.
I think the Highlanders.
Yep.
Especially at home.
Yep, I'm hoping there will be upset in this game, but I'm going to lock in the Highlanders as well. And to round out round 1, we have the Reds versus the Waratahs.
I'm going to say pre-season's nothing to go by, and I'm going to say I think the Waratahs are going to win that game.
No surprises here. I'm also locking in the Waratahs. So, yeah, that last one, I don't know, but I'm back in the Waratahs. When I saw their team, I'm like, okay, I'm going Waratahs, mate. I think they'll get it together.
I just hope that's a good game more than anything. I hope that's a good display of what
friendships. Yeah.
No friendships, mate. Stay first, mate.
So it looks like we only differ in one game, the Rebels versus Brumbies. So hopefully that game gets me over the line. But also let us know what you think the penalty should be at the end of the season for whoever loses this comp. And also let us know your tips so we can return to read it. Anyways, before we cross over to the Rebel gang, Einstein, you got any shout-outs?
Yeah, I cut out earlier, but just a quick shout out to the Gordon Highlanders again. It's a good start to my preseason. Already living rent free in your head. Had a DM come through from some bloke we've never heard of before, and he bit a little post about them celebrating a Colts preseason sevens win and stormed the field. So I did see a few Gordon people. I like some of the Gordon people. Saw my mate Ace down there. Had a good yarn with a few of them, but always nice to get a little inbox and then biting on something I've said about him. So Ironside 1, Gordon 0.
Just let him celebrate, bro. I think at West we used to celebrate even when we lost, but it was a close game. We just stormed the field. All right, mate. Thanks for coming and good luck for your tips, and we'll see you next week. We've headed into the front office now. And we'll still play. How well do you know your team?
Come on now.
We've got Ryan Freeney's favourite coach here, Stilesy.
Mate, I'm still shattered. Friends didn't get a chip yet.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
Everyone's shattered.
Yeah.
And we've got the king of the Rebels here, the supreme leader, Baden.
His king's a bit rough.
But we're going to see how well you know each other. Okay, starting off. What's Baden's hometown? Where's he from?
Canberra.
Ooh. Correct.
One.
Can you give us a bit of a specific? Do you know?
Well, no, I don't know what suburb, but I know he went to Maris Brothers.
Correct.
Wow. Okay.
Because we actually played Australian schoolboys together.
Oh, true.
Back in the day.
Wow. Okay. All right. What style's his hometown?
Bris Vegas.
Yep.
Well, what are we talking about? Hometown,
birth. Kind of where you're from.
Yeah, well, he's right. So I put the wrong place.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
He was born in Melbourne.
Correct.
Grew up in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Box Hill Hospital?
No, just a box head.
Oh, man.
All right, moving outside of rugby.
Yeah.
What's his hobby outside of rugby? What's his?
He loves walking or running around the town every day.
About town.
In particular, around summer.
Okay, and he got it.
Correct.
He got it.
Two.
Walking the town.
Oh, I know what I should put for my hobby. Anyway, that'll be wrong.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I
right.
know what he'll say. So if he says it,
All right.
Okay.
I'll
What are your
say
thoughts?
Stilesy, he's got all the gear and no idea, so it's either golf or cycling.
There you got it.
You got it.
I thought he might have said watching Collingwood because I'm a mad Collingwood fan.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Wow.
Just across the road.
Yeah.
Okay, and now cuisine. Favorite food?
Japanese.
It's probably number 2. But
Yeah.
I went Thai.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? What do you think his favourite food is?
Geez, I've seen him devour. he's big on the all-you-can-eat meat restaurants in Japan, but he doesn't mind his seafood either. So
Seafood and eat it.
Yeah, we go. Japanese.
Yeah.
So-
There you go. There you go. All right.
And
Last
lastly,
question.
pet hate. What's Baden's pet hate?
I don't know. Losing. He's not a fan of losing.
I'm definitely not.
It's on me. No, it's.
I said people that are disorganised.
But also,
Why do you say it like that?
think about it.
Now I'm feeling it. I nearly wrote exactly the same thing. I've got a tweak on that. So anyway.
All right. What do you think Styles' pet hate is?
Stylesy's very structured, so I'd say anyone who's late upsets him.
Yeah. No, well, I didn't say that, but it's a bit of, what do I say when someone does frustrate me a bit? No, beat it.
Well, you did well. You did better than the players. You
Yeah.
got a lot more right than the players did. So, front office is going well.
Yeah.
But guys, let's talk about the Rebels here. Stolzy spent some time in Queensland. What are some challenges that you had here initially coming to Melbourne, to AFL stronghold. What was the initial challenges coming in?
Yeah, definitely. It's an AFL stronghold, but what I do really like about the organisation here at the Rebels and probably the Victorian rugby community is our Pacifica community.
Yeah.
The reality is, a lot of the Pacifica boys aren't built to go and play AFL, where they're perfectly suited for rugby. So I think it's an opportunity for us in Melbourne, even though it's a stronghold with AFL, to actually go and do a really good job around our recruitment, around our talent identification, and give our community a good opportunity to come through and play in the Rebels, and that's what we're doing at the moment. So that excites me.
How good.
You guys have signed Nella.
Have we?
Yeah, you've got Nella. You've got an exciting roster moving forward in the coming years.
Yeah.
What's the message to the younger kids coming through? Like, back in the days, I'm from Melbourne. I remember when I grew up, I was playing AFL. I had no idea rugby existed.
Yeah.
And then I remember guys our age, like Lloyd Johansson, we had to go to Brisbane. What's the message to the youngins here that obviously there's a clearer pathway here? What's the message to those kids that want to be pro rugby players? And so, just some advice to those youngins.
Well, I reckon there's genuine opportunity. Now you're in your home state, you're growing up, you can come and watch some local players represent the Rebels and aspire to be someone like that. I still remember as a young kid going to Ballymore, watching those famous Reds teams of the 80s and wanting to be one. I think that's the great thing. Like, you've only look in my time over the last 2 years, when Daniel Mayava made his debut, Josh Cannon made his home debut. It was just so fantastic to see the schoolmates come along, you see the young clubs come along, and that's probably the best thing for me down here. If you want to work hard, there's an opportunity for you to play for the Rebels, and you can be the next Burn boy.
Yeah, 100%.
Good.
And in the front office, what's the biggest challenges for you guys here? What's the everyday challenge like? What's the hardest thing you find in here?
Look, commercially, there's 29 professional sporting teams in Melbourne. So it's the most cluttered sporting market in the world, and it's the most competitive marketplace. So, we've got a really niche, tight-knit rugby community, but for us to be a really big success in Melbourne and make a mark similar to Melbourne Storm, Melbourne Victory, you do need success, and you need to attract sports lovers. So we know in Melbourne that we've got a rugby community, a Pacifica community, an expat community, but everyone in Melbourne loves sport. So when the Bledisloe Cup comes to town, or when the British and Irish Lions are coming, we know that mad AFL people go, geez, that's a big event. It's like the races, the Formula One, AFL Grand Final. Everyone wants to go to the event. So our challenge is trying to make sure that that the 7 Melbourne Rebels home games is that there's a feeling that it's a good event, it's good entertainment, there's homegrown talent, and look, you touched on Nella before, and we're really fortunate. Homegrown captain Rob Leota, and as you guys know, he's a character. But when Stilesy did a great job when we were talking to Nella. We a bit like the Melbourne Storm, even though we're not the big show in town here, we do need some characters, some heroes, and some personalities down here in Melbourne, because everyone follows sport, and we know that the big events are coming, big rugby events are coming to Melbourne. So there's guys that we want to put on billboards to really grow the game, and as Stilesy said, we want the next generation of Melbourne young kids, wherever they're private school, public schools, and we do things different to the heartland states. We're running academies in public schools, and but we just want as many people in rugby looking at the Melbourne Rebels to say there's a pathway, and it's an elite competition, and no one has to go anywhere.
Speaking of players and their profile, you probably can't pick your favourite. You're probably not meant to pick your favourite player. But who in the current squad is your
favourite player?
Just every time you see him, right now, you're like,
you can't really say
pick one. Pick one.
So,
TC Blake's the best. No wonder Freeney gets a gig on the show.
Who runs out and you're just like, glad he's in a Rebels jumper.
I'll kick off. Look, Hodgie has been an enormous contributor for the Rebels. He's been, and he's just such a pro, and he's such a good guy, and I know his parents really well, and coming out of Manly in Sydney and debuting in round one, Dumper gave him a chance, and he scored 20 points and has never looked back since. And he's just consistent. You know what you're going to get, and he just loves the club, and he cares a lot about the change room. So Hodgie's just a salt of the earth guy that every time you know that he's on, he's having a crack.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And yourself, mate? Do you have a favourite?
I've got a lot of favourites. It's so hard because you get so close to them and you know their background. Probably two, I know you asked for one, but two that I really, I think are really great characters. Brad Wilkin, I coached him in his early days up in the NRC days, and to see his career sort of get so stalled through multiple injuries, but then to come back, work so hard and play the football that he has over the last couple of years and get rewarded with Wallabies selection. They're the stories I love. Bobby Tuttle as well, character, cheeky, on and off the field, typical bloody halfback, but once again, a double Achilles injury, that's as bad as you get. So to see him bounce back from that, I just love seeing how those two go about everything.
Yeah. Well, we're both from West, and Carter Gordon's he's probably our love child.
Yeah. But no wonder you love the Rebels then, hey? Get your premiership last year.
I was coming down looking for a contract.
But he was initially in the red system, and they let him go pretty early. What was something that you guys got onto him pretty quick? What was something that you guys sort of identified? We probably already know, because as soon as we saw him jump into at the young age at West, we're like, oh, this guy's going to be it. So what was something that you guys just had to?
Look, there was a couple of things at the time. Dave Vessels was the coach, and we're just coming out of COVID, and we knew that we needed some depth in that inside back. So we wanted to go with someone that we could rather than get someone that's played multiple or played for a couple of super franchises. We wanted someone that we could develop and probably learn a bit of an apprenticeship with Matt Tamua. And look, Carter, we'd been following him for a while, and look, there was some really good references, and a couple of guys that I know that both Dave and I really respect their opinions, and they're just things like coachable, tough, hungry, and a skill set, and vision. And one of the guys just said, you've just had Quade there, someone that's got vision that can play with width, and that was sort of where we wanted to go, and that was a little bit different style to Pup, but look, he had characteristics and he had a lot of potential, and we also knew that he's probably not going to get the opportunity, so he's a bit blocked. And look, he's embraced everything, and it has, as you guys know, it hasn't been a straight line. So we're all super proud of him, and having Eddie Jones on the sideline talking to Stilesy and I, and we see some of the things that he's been doing in games at training over the last 2 years. So we were super confident that this year he was going to take control, and no one talked about him in pre-season, but we knew that he was going to run the cutter for us.
I might have also texted Dave. I actually brought Carter into the Reds in December when he was 16, 2016 young pup. So massive
BBC.
raps on him. Yeah, he did. He came in and trained, and seriously, he was 16, did 2 weeks with us, and you just looked at him and thought, mate, this guy's got attributes that Bernie Larkham had. Long arms on him, big frame, beautiful pass,
silky skills,
and so always rated him. Obviously, ended up getting the punt from the Reds pretty quick but always massive raps on Carter, and I text Dave. I said, mate, you got to go and get this kid. So so pleased for him.
But you guys are creating heroes for the next gen here in Melbourne. But when you were younger, who was your hero? Who did you look up to?
Oh, geez.
You don't have to say Matty, but no, that was our age. That was a little young.
No, look, I was playing in Canberra rugby, and this was pre-Brumbies. So there was so the ACT rep team, which I was fortunate enough to play in. And look, I was same school, even though he was younger, but I was just so impressed when Roffey came through and was able to just go from almost schoolboy into almost Wallabies. But there's a guy called Paul Cornish who played for the Wallabies. Only a little guy, played for Royals. I played for the Vikings. Played against him. He was at the end of his career, but just a competitor and just such a humble, cracking guy. I sort of thought, geez, to play Wallabies and just give to the almost serve the community. He was someone I thought, geez, what a quality guy.
The big one for me was Dan Crowley. Sort of grew up at South. Old man played, ran around with Todd's old man playing footy in the day, and to see Dan Crowley come through and playing the same position with someone you looked up to, and he was just ruthless. Everyone knew he was an undercover cop and what he did the weekends, and it was worst kept secret. But what a player!
No, that's awesome. Just on that, with I suppose we touched on juniors and you guys growing up and who your heroes were. Obviously, you guys being the head office in regards to where you are and what you do now, what would your advice be for young athletes growing up in Melbourne wanting to make it into this system? What words of wisdom or what advice could you possibly give them to I suppose make it to the next level to become professional?
Look, my advice to the young aspiring players, and we had an academy launch the other night, would be almost no different to talking to the playing group. I just think that I haven't seen many players, if any, that their career has been a straight line and has gone, it's gone exactly how they planned. So resilience, be prepared for disappointments. Don't be upset if you you don't get there straight away. Be prepared to do an apprenticeship. All those things, and even talking to Eddie the other day, and even my career. I've been involved with forever, but it's the people, not always that are the elite of the elite, that they've got a good work ethic, that know people, that work hard, and that succeed both on and off the field. And that's sort of the characteristics that our club's been looking for. We've been really, Stilesy's done a brilliant job, just being really, really, and Kevin Foote, we really understand, what we're about, our culture, and what sort of characteristics we're looking for. So I would just say that, to be resilient, work your bum off, and when the door opens, jump through it, because you never know when that'll be.
Well, thanks for having us, guys.
And
good luck tomorrow. We'll see you out there.
Awesome, thanks guys.
Thanks for that.
Too easy.
We've got shout out left, and then Ben Tune. So Freddie, what's the shout out for the week?
My shout outs to you, man.
Thanks, mate.
My shout out is to I know he doesn't open his heart up often, guys, but he's big, warm and fuzzy on the inside. Underneath that sweaty, boring sort of exterior, he's a good guy. Yeah. And he actually has good chat. I know we save all of our chat for this Wednesday podcast. It's almost like a little catch-up for us.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, when he's in love, he is in love, and he's a one-woman man.
I reckon when I'm in love, I give him the ick because I love him too hard. Know what I mean? Just call him, I love you so much. And then they were cool for a while. You got to say back? Bitch. No, don't say that. Respectful, bitch.
Mate, the problem is you just got to drop your walls, man.
Yeah.
Let him in.
Let him in. I'll let you in. Okay.
I'll let you in if you let me in.
Speaking of let in, Rebel Gang is our discount code for this week. Sort yourself out. Jump on pigathleticlub.com and treat yourself. Rebel Gang.
Mate, can we fucking get into the code last week, mate? How the fuck was anyone going to remember that? John Baptiste Bethlehem. Like, are you fucking serious?
Well,
mate?
Someone bought something with that code, mate.
Who? Name one.
Okay, I made it up. So people jump on. Nobody bought anything with the code. You bought something without the code. That's how bad it was. People bought without using the code. Use the code Rebel Gang.
Fucking hell.
Okay, Ben Tune of the Week. For copyright reasons, our Ben Tune of the Week is only available on audio streaming platforms. So head on over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Otherwise, we'll catch you next week.